Every game has rules to protect its players, and the UFC is no different. It is very devastating when a fighter has an edge because of cheating. Sadly, stories like this abound in the UFC. While there may be a couple of them that have gone free with it, some others have had to answer to the authorities. In today's video, we will look at 8 fighters caught cheating. Let's jump right in. Now, this is a peculiar case that was appropriately handled by the referee. 8. Leon Edwards. At UFC 286, Leon Edwards and Kamaru Usman faced off for the 3rd time in the octagon. Usman dominated the fight from the start, causing desperation for Edwards. The Jamaican-born fighter seemed to grab Kamaru's glove while pressed against the cage, leading referee Herb Dean to issue a stern warning during the rubber match. In the 3rd round, Leon found himself against the cage as Kamaru attempted a takedown. Moments later, Leon clearly grabbed the fence with his left hand. The referee then deducted a point from Leon's official scorecards. It's worth noting that Kamaru also suffered a groin shot due to one of Leon's low left kicks. Fans argue that without the point deduction, Leon might have been the clear winner of the trilogy bout. Although Edwards later defeated Kamaru, the fight was extremely close, and the scores could have swung in either direction. 7. Nick Diaz. This list would only be incomplete without the name Nick Diaz being mentioned. His track record speaks for itself. From skipping media events and missed fights to in-cage incidents and troubles outside the arena, Diaz has failed many doping tests, and it is practically impossible to discuss them all. Diaz stands out as one of the most controversial figures in the UFC, and his notoriety wouldn't be such an issue if not for his recurrent involvement in cheating scandals, consistently staining his reputation through the use of illegal substances. For Diaz, it is a recurring concern. In fact, each time Diaz's name surfaces, there's an unfortunate anticipation for potential controversies. Up next is a fighter that is similar to Diaz for many reasons. 6. Rousimar Palhares. While Diaz thrives on controversy, Palhares is famous for breaking the rules. He consistently flouted regulations throughout Palhares' relatively brief stint in the UFC. Palhares grappled with issues related to substance abuse. Despite fines, punishments, and reprimands, Palhares remained unapologetic, even when his actions posed potentially life-threatening risks. The Brazilian fighter had a pattern of submitting opponents, but holding on even after they tapped out. In 2010, he faced a 90-day suspension following his UFC 1-1-1 victory over Tomas Drawl for refusing to release a heel hook. The breaking point occurred in 2013 when Palhares submitted Mike Pierce in just 31 seconds, but persisted in not letting go. Dana White promptly cut ties with him and banned all future events, stating, "This is the 2nd incident we've had with Palhares. He had the lock and didn't let go. Finally, he let it go, but I'm going to cut him too." 5. Anderson Silva. The legendary Brazilian Silva enjoyed a considerable UFC career, but a doping scandal stained his legacy. The revered middleweight champion finds himself in a situation akin to veteran Wanderlei Silva. His failed drug tests raise questions among fans. How much of his outstanding career was influenced by the use of banned substances? Unfortunately, we may never uncover the answer, but his legacy took a hit after he failed a post-fight drug test. Following his bout against Nick Diaz at UFC 183, it was revealed that the Brazilian had tested positive for various banned substances. Silva attributed this to a tainted sexual enhancement pill he received from a friend in Thailand, a claim the commission didn't accept. They revoked his total win bonus, took 30% of his show money, amounting to $380,000, and overturned his victory against Diaz to a no contest. Although his reputation remained intact, the doping incident overshadowed his illustrious career. 4. Thiago Silva. Silva is the kind of person who often finds himself on the wrong side of things, caught up in scandals and frequently dealing with legal problems. Admittedly, he's involved in some severe illegal activities, making it understandable why authorities get involved. Silva's career was further hit when he failed a USADA test 2011. Following Silva's triumph at UFC 125 against Brandon Vera, the Brazilian athlete replaced his genuine urine with a synthetic sample acquired online. Silva subsequently confessed to using steroids twice in the 2 months preceding his New Year's Day bout, aiming to recuperate from a significant back injury. The commission displayed some leniency in its disciplinary measures, altering the outcome to a no contest. This led to him forfeiting 25% of his earnings and $20,000 from his $55,000 win bonus. Additionally, he received a 1-year suspension from applying for a fighting license. 3. Wanderlei Silva. Wanderlei Silva, another Brazilian on our list, gained notoriety for his aggressive combat style and highly unconventional fighting approach. Silva became infamous for using banned substances and stood out as one of the rare fighters who built their careers while under the influence, enhancing their aggression. The issue arose when the UFC took measures to regulate the use of illegal substances, leading to the downfall of fighters like Silva, whose careers were impacted. In 2014, Silva openly refused a drug test during a bout, resulting in the devastating loss of both his career and reputation. The Nevada State Athletic Commission, NSAC, imposed a hefty $70,000 fine, a significant penalty. He was handed a lifetime ban, officially concluding his UFC career. Although the lifetime ban was later overturned, Silva was heavily criticized for his offensive comments about the UFC fixing fights. He was later released and never returned. 2. Georges St Pierre. Unlike the other cases mentioned earlier, GSP's cheating scandal is peculiar because it isn't his fault. It is a situation involving his cornerman, Phil Nurse. Amid GSP's title fight against BJ Penn at UFC 94, Nurse was seen applying Vaseline not just on St Pierre's face, but also on his back, which is against the rules. During the fight, it became apparent that Penn was struggling to gain control over St Pierre. After losing the match, Penn and his team raised concerns, leading to an investigation by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, famously named Greasegate. Despite the inquiry and a hearing, no significant findings emerged, as the commission concluded that the Vaseline application didn't affect the fight's outcome. 1. Jon Jones. While Jones has undeniably been a dominant force in the UFC and held the status of a legendary champion, his career faced significant setbacks due to 2 substance-related incidents. These events tarnished his reputation and had profound effects, slowing down and nearly derailing his entire career. In the initial incident, Jones lost his light heavyweight title when it was revealed, post-UFC 182, that he tested positive for cocaine. Shortly afterward, he was involved in an accident, leading to a year-long absence from the octagon. Upon his comeback, he secured the interim title, only to face another setback with a failed drug test. This resulted in stripping his title, imposing fines, and another 1-year ban. Consider the impact of 2 consecutive years on a professional UFC career, a significant challenge for any athlete. Jon Jones received a 4-year suspension after a USADA drug test failure one day prior to his UFC 214 rematch against Daniel Cormier. This wasn't Jones's first encounter with such issues. Preceding his UFC 200 bout with Cormier, he faced a 1-year suspension due to a failed drug test by USADA. Furthermore, a positive test for the same performance-enhancing substance occurred before his UFC 232 fight with Alexander Gustafsson. This led to a last-minute venue change from Las Vegas to Los Angeles. Regardless of intent, it's undeniable that Jones's achievements are questionable. Do you think these fighters' career would have been different if they had not cheated? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Thanks for watching, and see you in the following video.